Welcome to SNAP, Survivors of Narcissistic and Abusive Personalities. This educational recovery podcast is presented by Claremont Mental Health and Mandy Friedman, licensed professional clinical counselor. This presentation contains vital information for survivors of abuse. Topics include the spectrum of abusive personalities, targets of abuse, abusive relationships, and survivors in recovery. We hope this information helps you gain solid footing and clarity as you navigate your road to recovery.
Hi, I'm Mandy Friedman, licensed professional clinical counselor, clinically certified domestic violence counselor, clinically certified trauma professional, and the creator of SNAP, Survivors of Narcissistic and Abusive Personalities. Today, I'd like to talk to you about creating and protecting your bubble. What do I mean by this? Survivors of abuse have to painstakingly carve out a new life that is healthy and free of toxic presence, toxic conflict, toxic personalities, unhealthy presence, things that keep us stuck, things that don't allow us to progress and evolve and become the person we were always meant to be. But to create the bubble, it takes you making the bubble, carving it out, creating it, and then of course protecting it. Our new healthy life doesn't just magically appear. It takes a lot of work and effort. It takes a lot of courage and strength and endurance, but you can do it. And I know that you can because I've seen many survivors overcome what they've been through and then move forward in a healthy and happy life, free from abuse, with new healthy relationships. It is possible. It does take time. But how do we get there? You start small by creating a bubble. And what I mean by this metaphorical bubble is that this is your sphere, this is your little world that is free from toxic presence, free from unhealthy things. This is where you're safe to be yourself. This is where you know that there's not anyone there that's going to be hurting you. You are safe in this place. Now, sometimes we don't have a safe place right away, so we have to create one, and it could be a silly thing like a shelf or a locker or a car or the bathroom if that's the only place you ever get privacy. But we have to start somewhere. So let's say, for example, that you decide that you're going to start carving a bubble out by using your car as your safe place. So let's clean out your car. Let's make it a nice environment for you. Let's make it smell nice, right? And so that when you go to get into the car, that you can mentally make a shift. That here I am in my space and I can breathe and I can be myself and no one is judging me and no one is watching me. I can just be me, and that's your bubble. Now, over time, as you make corrections in your life, you set boundaries, you change your behaviors, you change your view of yourself and of your past. This bubble will continue to grow and get stronger and stronger. And over the course of time, as you continue to work on your recovery, your bubble will become your world, meaning your home, potentially your work, potentially your extended family, maybe your chosen family now, as opposed to your biological family, depending on the choices you've had to make. But the life that we are trying to build is one within which we can just be ourselves, feel comfortable in our own skin, be respected, and be loved by the people that we allow to have intimate access to us. We're a lot more selective now than we used to be. So that bubble can start really small with only just one other person or maybe no other people that are allowed in that bubble. But you do have to protect it. And that means years into recovery. You could be 5, 6, 7, 8 years into recovery and you still have to protect your bubble and keep it free from toxic shit and toxic people and continue to set boundaries and maintain boundaries. Building your bubble allows you to move forward in life, and often when people are currently being abused or they're just on the other side of getting away from the person, they feel like that they don't have ownership of anything and that they don't have a sense of agency, that there is nowhere that they can go, that there isn't somebody that's mistreating them. That's very common. So that's why we have to start small, guys, with just a little tiny place, just a little place. And from there, you will extend the bubble through your decision making, through changing your patterns of behavior, through changing the way that you value yourself and the way you view relationships and your expectations and ideals for relationships. I hope this has been helpful. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching me on YouTube. And if you're listening to the podcast, find me on YouTube. And if you're watching me on YouTube, check out the podcast. And we are also on Facebook and Instagram. Bye.
If you like this podcast, subscribe and leave us a review. Find Mandy Friedman, LPCC CCDVC on YouTube and Facebook. Join the SNAP Survivors of Narcissistic and Abusive Personalities Facebook group and follow us on Instagram @theofficialsnap. Thanks for listening.